Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of FleadhFest, coming to you from County Cavan. We've been all across the county bringing you musical highlights, and today's programme is no different. Let's kickstart with Milltown Comhaltas.
Of Lebanon are burning, and all those cedars bleeding in the heat. They're showing pictures on the television, women and children dying in the streets. But we're still at it in our own place, still trying to reach the future through the past, trying to carve tomorrow from a tombstone. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be no sad song. I've sung too much of that before. Right now I only wanna be with you till the morning dew comes falling. Take you to the island and trace your footprints in the sand. And in the evening when there's no one around, we'll make love to the sound of the ocean. They're waving banners over by the market, whitewashing slogans on the shipyard walls, witch doctors praying for a mighty showdown. No way our holy flag is gonna fall, 'cause up here we sacrifice our children to feed the worn out dreams of yesterday. Teach them that dying will lead us into glory. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be no sad song. We've had too much of that before. Right now I only wanna be with you till the morning dew comes falling. I wanna take you to the island and trace your footprints in the sand. And in the evening when there's no one around, we make love to the sound of the ocean. I guess us plain folk don't see all the story, and all this peace and love just copping out, and all these young boys dying in the ditches. It's just us what being free is all about, and how this twisted wreckage down on Main Street will just bring us together in the end, as we go marching down the road to freedom, freedom. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be no sad song. I've sung too much of that before. Right now I only wanna be with you till the morning dew comes falling. I wanna take you to the island and trace your footprints in the sand, and in the evening when the sun has gone down, we'll make love to the sound of the ocean.
We've brought you lots of music, song and dance on the programme so far. Now for something else very special. We're with Patsy McDermott from Killinkere. Have a listen to this recitation.
This weekend in Killinkere is always known as Jamboree Weekend. But it would also be the weekend when the silage would start. Now when I was a young fella, there was no such thing as silage. It was hay and hardship all the way. And this is a few lines I put together a couple of years ago about making a rick of hay. Myself and Dermot are all that's left now that made the rick of hay. That little thought just crossed my mind when John Pat Riley passed away. The first Monday in September, as the sun began to shine, we milked Clark's cows and fed the calves, and then sat down to dine. When we had the breakfast in us, Pat let out a rifter. Will you, says he, start up the tractor and put on the old cock lifter. In the shed he got the weapons and the two dogs, Jeff and Mutt. We all headed for the pass field and in the corner made the butt. Now this is not a job for garsons. You have to judge the length and width, and when Tommy Yillick on his bicycle came, 'twas adjusted quite a bit. Then Pat threw in big cocks of hay and placed them all around. We took off the ropes, pitched them in, raised Tommy off the ground. After some time I was getting it tight, but couldn't say that out loud. Then over the pass, pitchfork on shoulder, came our neighbour, Philip Dowd. Oh, he was young and fit back then. Hard work to him, no bother. He threw off the coat and jansy to pitch next winter's fodder. Occasionally, Pat pulled the stopper, the men would have a smoke, exchange bits of local news, tell us the odd, crude joke. Around about 1 o'clock, we heard a whistle blow. This told us 'twas dinner time. Up the lane we all did go. As we sat around the table in that house so neatly thatched, Mrs. Clark served up a dinner I never yet saw matched. Shortly after dinner time, as the clegs began to bite, a puff of smoke up at the stile, and then a welcome sight. 'Twas John Pat Riley on his tractor, oh, a lovely 20 grey, when he took into action. That's the boy could pitch the hay. Next, Dermot got promotion. Well, a few steps up the ladder, Tommy said, if I don't get help, this reek will just go badder. At 4 o'clock, Mrs. Clark came down with 2 big bags of grub and half a dozen bottles of tea. We all got one to slug. When we quit that evening, over half the hay was in the reek. The football field, the pass field, the hill field, all complete. As we assembled the next morning, the sky was rather grey, wind blowing from the west, rain not far away. Pat was in a tizzy. Says he, the stakes are high. We'll have to get her built and headed before the rain comes by. The Bay boys are building too and watching us like hawks. Wouldn't they love to get theirs finished and see the Gran Aquinas caught? Let her out, says Tommy. I like a rail good easing. After some time, let her in, boys. We did our best to please 'em. At 12 o'clock, the hay from Hallin's meadow was safely in the reek, and by 3:30, all from the Pottashamrock field was beneath the builder's feet. She's going next the chapel, said John Pat Riley, quite annoyed, but with lots of props and lots of grunts, we got her rightified. The Rishi field, though fairly big, was always left to last. With clouds now getting blacker, we needed to work fast. The long-handled forks were too short by the time the bell did ring. Philip Dowd sat in the ladder and helped the forkfuls in. Then we watched a man get off his bicycle and push it up Hannon's brae. Would he turn in the pass or continue on his way? Although he had cycled 20 mile and worked an 8-hour day, Daddy done without the dinner to help with the reek of hay. We pulled the ends, we pulled the sides, 4 foot high or so, while Pat brought up jogs of rishes from the cummock down below. We raked her down to the easing, gable ends and all. Just as we finished with the heading, light rain began to fall. I twisted long ropes, we threw them across, tied them good and tight, as we stood beneath the big beech tree. Cigarettes the men did light. A well done job, says Daddy, and me thinks rain will do good. And as we looked across at Bear, we all agreed it would. A very fine reek indeed, says Tommy. The man that built it must be wise. If he's had her entered in Virginia's show tomorrow, she would surely take first prize. Myself and Dermot wanted to go to the show, but we needed a couple of quid. So long, boys, says Pat, and may God spare yous. And so far, do you know, he did.
Next up on today's programme, we're going to be hearing from the Dr. Brian Galligan Comhaltas Group, which is located in Kilnalek in County Cavan. The name of Dr. Brian Galligan is today synonymous with traditional Irish music. As an instigator of Comhaltas Cultóirí Éireann, Cumann Rincóirí na hÉireann, a musician of distinction, a collector of traditional Irish music, and an outstanding promoter of cultural events, his name is now famous in Irish folklore. He was well known in County Cavan, where he served as a doctor and had particularly close associations with Kilnalek, Cavan Town and Ballinyaa. He later moved to Kilnalek in 1969 and was very instrumental in running the County Fleadh Cheoil there in 1972 and 1973. In March 2008, a new branch of Comhaltas Cultóirí Éireann was formed in Kilnalek. Music, song and dance was always strong over the years in Kilnalek and the surrounding areas. But since the previous branch of CCE disbanded in 1992, there was no official structure to consistently promote cultural activity. This new vibrant branch wasted no time in putting its shoulder to the wheel, and its first major task was to host the prestigious Comhaltas na hÉireann 2008 Comhaltas Concert Tour of Ireland on Wednesday, October 15th in Kilnalek Hall. The rest is history as the branch grew from strength to strength, as it later joined with Crosskeys CCE to become Kilnalek Crosskeys CCE. As more and more branch members joined from surrounding areas such as Ballymacue, Crusherlaw and Mount Nugent, it was subsequently decided to change the branch name to Dr. Brian Galligan CCE in 2015. In conjunction with Kilnalek CCE, Cavan FEC, Anton McGowan and Kilcogie Community Development, money was raised and a monument was erected. On Sunday the 21st of April 2013, on Shanador, Lauras O'Muraku, Comhaltas Cultóirí Éireann unveiled a monument to the legendary traditional Irish fiddle player Sean Maguire and more than 20 local musicians at Kilcogie in the parish of Mullahorn, County Cavan, near the old Maguire homestead. This was the first occasion where Sean Maguire was honoured in this way with a permanent monument. Since the formation of the Dr. Brian Galligan CCE in 2008, the branch has been consistently active, as it has run 3 consecutive County Fleadhna in 2009, 2010 and 2011. Members of the branch, Philip Clark, Eugene Kiernan and Peter Brady, served on the FEC of Fleadh Cheoil na hÉireann, Cavan 2010, 2011 and 2012, and were joined by Betty Leddy, Breege Leddy and Karen Gilroy as youth officer at Fleadh Cheoil na hÉireann.
We've got 110 there every Wednesday and Saturday practicing to play music from 5-year-old to about 15, and it's the future of our branch. We changed it there recently to the Dr. Galligan Creative it was the Killinay Cross Keys before that, and Dr. Gallagher would be proud if he was alive today, where the branch is gone.
We have no better man to provide the next few tunes than the current All-Ireland senior champion on the piano. And he's a captain. And his name is Conor Cunan.
sailed away into the night. Where they'll end up, no one knows. Round and round the story goes. He said, my friend, I'll take my chance in far off New York town. They say there's lots of work there, and a good man won't stay down. For with my lassie by my side, we'll build a better home. And when the sea trips over land, we never more will roam.
Says I know Marge's just a dream, and when you have a bit of wheat, and she unless that bikini is like a parachute, she it will not fit. And anyway, I have no time for these planes whizzing across the sky. Sure, God would have fitted us with wings if he had wanted us to fly. So settle down now, woman, put more turf on the fire. Sure, we're simply country people, and we have all we desire. Well, with that she started barging about how good she was to me, about the way she slaved around the farm. Of course I did agree. She left me feeling guilty, and because she talked me round. So next morning, bright and early, me and her, we hit the town. Straight to the travel agent she did go. I had given my commitment, and I just couldn't tell her no. And in less nor 20 minutes, and with a twinkle in her eye, she shouts we're for Mallorca, the first week in July.
That's all we have time for on today's FleadhFest. I hope you've enjoyed the programme. We have one more programme coming up for you, so don't forget to tune in. Take care. See you soon.